going to do the second part of the orchid collection update for the month of April, and this time we are in my living room, and I will continue with this beautiful Vanda orchid. I recently received this Vanda orchid from one of my viewers here in Romania. It is Vanda cultana crossed with Luzonica fragrance. This is a very interesting cross, and I will try to take it out for a bit because I wanted to show to you something. When I have received her about 1 month ago, she didn't had any green root tips, only these big roots, and ever since she has been in my care, she has produced quite a few root tips. So we have one big here, a completely or two completely new roots here, and we have some roots that are starting to branch more. She really seems to enjoy my fertilizer regime, let's say, and she is absolutely full of happy sap, and she is also getting a lot of purple tinges because she does receive quite a lot of sunlight. She is also starting to push up more roots from the base, which is quite nice, which makes me believe that maybe I will see her in bloom this year. Who knows? I grow her in a glass vase, and because quite a few of you were interested when I proposed that in one of my last videos, I will actually do a care tutorial for how to grow Vanda orchids in glass vases, because mine seem to respond really well. Here we have a huge Vanda orchid. This is a BLC cornerstone compass. I bought her about 3.5 years ago from Schwerter. It was really tiny. I gave a division to Dani, a 2-bulb division to Dani, and I was left with 3 suitables, and since then she has grown quite a bit. You can see for the first time she is getting some purple tinges on the leaves, which is quite nice because that means she does receive a lot of sunlight, and I'm quite hopeful that this year she will bloom. She never bloomed for me. She did produce quite a lot of big leaves, quite a lot of fat suitables. She does have a lot of growths. Let's try to count them. I hope I will do this. I hope you are seeing this. So we have 1, 2, 3 with the big one, 4, 5, 6, 7 new growths, 8 new growths that are growing at the same time. They are different sizes. I was trying to look here inside because I do feel it being quite plump, but I don't really see a sheet, and I actually know this orchid produces very fat and big sheets, so for now she won't bloom, but maybe from one of the smaller growths, more immature ones, we will actually get to see them blooming. We can see that she is producing a lot of happy sap. She is a very happy orchid, and I will try to swing a little bit her pH to see if I maybe will get her to bloom, and also I will try to see if I am able to put her outdoors on the windowsill, but outdoors, and that way she will receive a lot of sunlight. She did grew last 2 years in the summertime in my old city outdoors, and she didn't bloom, so but now she does have more growths. They are bigger, and she has a healthier root system. She is quite established in semi-hydro in the bigger leca, and she has been in this pot with this medium for about 4 months, and she does do pretty well. She did grow a lot of roots. I will try to show to you. I hope you are able to see. We have roots all over the place. I'm not sure how much you can see because the pot is green, but I definitely can. Very soon I will need to move this orchid into a larger pot because she just cannot fit anymore inside. So let's continue. Okay, so here we have my Laelia purpurata. She has a beautiful new growth. We have recently seen her in bloom, and she did had two beautiful blooms that lasted quite a while. She does have a green moss on top. We will see if it will establish there or not. I made a 2-bulb division, so that is why you are seeing, let's say, lacking some suitables. I'm trying to see if they will sprout, and if they will, I will sell them. This orchid came from Kashnia in Ecuador, and I took her from the London Orchid Show. She bloomed ever since, reliably, every single year with 2 blooms. I really hope that this year she will perform better, but as I said, I have just divided her, so who knows. But this is the last suitable that she produced for me, and just look at the size of the leaf. It is very, very big. The orchid, it is very healthy. I'm seeing here for the first time she has a little bit of fungal disease. I will try to bring you a bit closer. Hope you can see this on camera. There we have some blackening, and this wasn't really there, and on this side I can see it too. I really hope the orchid is healthy though, because I love it. When I have purchased it, the back bulbs were quite spotted, and this is why I really wanted to divide her, because I wanted to get rid of the older pseudobulbs, because they weren't all that pretty. And now I am seeing here a bit of blackening as well, but that was a growth that she came with, almost mature, so I cannot really take good or bad credits, let's say, for it. But this one, yes, and if she does have a fungal disease, I will need to intervene. I will spray it, and I will show to you exactly with what I will do that. I also see that the joint of the leaf with the pseudobulb is a bit yellowy. Don't really like how this leaf looks like, to be pretty honest. It is very big, but I don't think it's very healthy. I will see. Anyway, let's move forward. Here I have a beautiful Vanda blue, or magic blue. I have bought this one a few months ago from Secret Garden on Orchid shop here in Romania, and she did finish up her blooms, and now she is growing quite a lot of root branches. I hope you are able to see. They are pretty much everywhere, on new roots, on older roots, on the thin roots as well. We have a few. I hope you are able to see that. So my Vandas do respond pretty well to my glass vases, to my fertilizer regime. She's also producing some new roots on the stem. So I hope I will be able to rebloom her in this sunlight. As I said, it is morning sunlight, so who knows. But I really do hope so. and she also has quite a bit of purple tinges because she does receive good sunlight, so that is very nice. Here we have Dendrobium Phalaenopsis, no idea which is obviously receiving a bit too much sun. I would really want to bring you a bit closer. I hope that is okay. So she does have quite a lot of purple tinges. She does have a new growth, she does have quite a bit of roots, but she never bloomed for me. So this is the last year she will stay in my care, and if it won't bloom, she will just go to a new owner. Here it is the Phalaenopsis orchid that my mother gifted me, and she has those beautiful blooms. I really love their color. She does have a few roots, and she is starting to grow here a new leaf. She didn't came very healthy. She came to me with some cold damage on the older leaves, and this is one of the leaves which suffered from cold damage. You can see it, and it will eventually fall off, and I will remain with these leaves, but that is okay for me. I am really not bothered by it. Okay. This is Regina Francis Fox. I tidied it up with a bit of wire, let's say, because it was really unstable and she was falling out from the pot. I have received it last year from a Romanian vendor who brought it from Orchidian, and the orchid came with fusarium. Ever since I am performing some fusarium treatments for her. She does have 3 directions of growth, one here in the back which is growing a tiny new growth, and 2 more which are just starting to form here. I never saw this orchid in bloom, so I'm really excited. I know I gave a division to Dani which is performing very well, but at that time I wasn't informed about the existence of fusarium, and my division got infected and it died, so I wanted a new one. That one also came with fusarium, but now I know how to cure fusarium, so this is what I am trying. And she does have quite a lot of roots, but the root tips sometimes do get blacken up, and the root tips I mean, so it might be that she also has a deficiency of some sort, or it is just an effect of the fusarium. We will actually see in the future, but right now I'm seeing all the old roots that she produced during my care last year, because she came completely rootless to me. Didn't yet died, but they didn't really develop all that much. They developed about 10 centimeters, and then they just stopped growing. Now they are starting to branch. As I said, she was keep falling out of the pot, so I really know what it is underneath. And I'm quite hopeful that she will recover, because I am seeing that she does have quite a bit of vigor in it. Here we have Brassivola St. Andre. I have received this one from Schwerter about 1.5 years ago. The orchid is quite healthy. It is just maturing this new growth. She has a bit of purplish tinges here. I never saw it in bloom, but I don't really think it is yet blooming size. And she is just now adjusting, let's say, properly to semi-hydro, because when I have received it, it came without roots. She had actually a root rod. and then I have put her in that medium with small leca and ceramis, which almost killed her roots, and then I put her to the bigger leca, which in which she is actually growing very well. And here we have my pride and joy. This is my Cattleya. She is doing great for me in semi-hydro. She has 2 directions of growth. Now this is a very rare orchid. It is like the queen of the Cattleyas. The Dowiana, it is a harder to grow orchid, as some say, because in their opinion this orchid really likes to dry out, but that was not my experience. I have her for 3 years. She has been divided twice because I wanted to really recover the money which I paid for, because I paid 90 euros I think for her, so she is an expensive one. And by doing those 2 divisions I did recover the money back. And now she's growing this leaf. It is a bit distorted because I tried to tie it up. That is completely my fault. And she came to me with this fungal disease on the leaves, which I will cut very soon, because I want to do a video about this type of fungal disease. I will try to show to you. I'm sure you are seeing it on a lot of old leaves on Cattleyas. So this is how it looks like. Here it started with a sunburn, but that is the way she came to me. So yeah, but she's healthy. She does have quite a lot of fruits inside the pot. I'm not sure if I will be able to show them to you, but she does have them. And yeah, she's not yet a really blooming size. I bought her as a 1 year from flowering size, but I don't think she was actually that mature, because the seed bulbs do get a lot more higher. They get a lot more taller, I wanted to say, and that is not yet her size, but she's doing great. And she's growing bigger and bigger. This seed bulb is bigger than the last one, or at least that is what I hope. So we will see. Here we have one of my favorite Cattleyas. This is Cattleya CM Jade. I have reported her in the bigger leca about 3 months ago, and she is doing great. She didn't had any roots because her old roots were killed by the small leca in ceramis. And ever since, she has produced quite a good root system. I hope you are able to see that. The roots are in and out. So soon I will need to put her in a bigger pot with a bit more medium. She is producing here a new growth, and the root tips do have quite large root tips. So that is pretty nice in my opinion. And she does have very fragrant blooms. It is one of the most beautiful orchid fragrances that I have ever smelled, so that is pretty nice. I'm seeing here an old leaf which is a bit yellowish in color, but it is on an old leaf, and the orchid came with this fungal disease. It didn't spread, but she had those on this old sweet bulb as well, and the leaves eventually have fallen off. So that is why I think that these two will fall off as well, but I will wait her to do that naturally. Here It is a gorgeous little orchid. It is a miniature. It's called Cattleya Hawaiian Splash Water. I bought this orchid from Orchids and More last autumn. So about 6 months ago. She did established very well in semi-hydro. She has 2 directions of growth, these two, and she never bloomed. I bought her as a 1 year from flowering size. So I am quite curious to see if this year she will bloom for me. This orchid doesn't produce sheets, she blooms directly, so as the leaf will open, I will be able to see with a flashlight if the orchid will bloom for me or not. But if she doesn't bloom from one of these 2 new growths, I'm sure that she will bloom in late autumn, because she will actually produce one. Sorry. She will produce a new set of growths. These ones will mature in about 2 to 3 months, and the next ones will start in a short time after that. Here I was trying to train, and I really managed to actually. This is a red no ID Cattleya, which I received from Dani, so from Miss Orchid Girl, and I used this ribbon to tie off a little the newer growth, because the leaf was not strong enough, and it was trying to lean over. So if I would have left it at that point, she would have hardened up in that position, and I couldn't correct it anymore, like this one here. You see, I cannot do anything with this anymore. But as I caught her in time, I saw that she was very light green in color. That is the moment when the structures didn't completely harden off. And I corrected that in time. Now she has the darker green color. She is hardened up, so the leaf will remain like that. She also has some purple tinges because she is receiving a good amount of light. And she is producing another new growth. This orchid never bloomed for me. This was a winter growth. This was the previous growth, which grew in the summer, but it produced a sheet and didn't bloom. I do hope that from the new growth she's trying to push up right now, she will actually grow. But she does produces the growths quite fast, so this one was mature in 3 months. It is not a big one anyway, but for her size that is good. What else? This one. This is the supposed Cattleya Jackie, Cattleya Princess Jackie, that Dani loves so much, and I actually love it also, but I have found her ID, and when she will bloom I will do an ID video. She does have a lot of fruits and algae. And she has been growing this pseudobulb for the past 3 months, or 2 months actually. So she grows fast, but I cannot really see any buds. I do see it being quite plump in here, so she might have some. Who knows? I also don't see a sheet, and I see that the old sheets are very tall, so she should pretty much have at this point the buds or not, or at least the sheet, but we will see. Okay, so let's continue. Here, oopsie, we have my Oncidium Cherry Baby. We have repotted him together, but the video was done in Romania into semi-hydro, but the old roots were really attached to the bark, and they suffered a lot when I have repotted her, and then in semi-hydro they completely died. So I completely changed my mind up, and then I have changed it to sphagnum moss, and ever since she is producing some good roots, and this is what I am waiting for. I'm waiting for this new growth to push up some roots that are about 10 centimeters in height, and then I will put her in semi-hydro, and I am sure that then she will take up fast and she will grow very well. I didn't want to leave her without roots in semi-hydro because at that point the pseudobulbs weren't or the new growths weren't really pushing up at a fast rate the root tips, and I wanted her to save up energy. I didn't want the pseudobulbs to get really shriveled because she has a lot of new growth. She has 1, 2, 3, 4 new growths, and the old pseudobulbs were very big. I hope you can see that. So I am having my highs very hope. I am having my hopes very high that I will have multiple spikes from her in late autumn, let's say. So I want her to have good roots, and then I will transfer it back to semi-hydro. So that is my story with my cherry baby. That is the one that I want to save, and that is the one that I want to stay with me, and the other two I want to sell. This is a little ornamental plant. I'm not sure how it is called, but it is in semi-hydro with small leca and ceramis, and now I am seeing a little plantlet that is trying to grow upwards. It is a very pretty one, and I know that she is producing very beautiful bluish blooms, so I am really looking forward for that. I am giving her the same regimen or fertilizer regime that I give to my orchids, and she does seem to grow very well. She was a very small leaf, so I propagated her and she grew from a cutting. This is Oncidium latio. I am trying to save him, and I have my hopes high. He has this new growth and a smaller one in here. She does have a few roots, but they are very small root tips, and I didn't want to place him in semi-hydro because semi-hydro, it is not a good medium or a good setup to save sick orchids. So when I have a sick orchid, I always save her first in moss, and then I put it in semi-hydro. And I am making sure that the moss stays constantly moist, because I want the roots to be properly adjusted to being always moist, so that way they won't rot in semi-hydro. Now it is very important when you are keeping the moss all the time moist that you change it after 3 to 4 months. So this is why I say that if you are using dried moss and you keep it always moist, that one will rot quite fast. Or will decompose quite fast. So if I would have right now some green moss and I would keep it always moist, that one won't rot, that one will actually grow faster and fluffier, and the roots of the orchid would benefit from all that moisture. But for the dried one, no, that one needs to be changed regularly. Okay, here is my BC My Kai spotted star. I gave a division from this orchid to Dani and one to Miss Orchid Girl. I gave one to Dani and one to Rachel. Okay, and my orchid is infested with Fusarium, or at least she was, but I don't really think she already is healthy. She does have good roots inside this setup. I hope you can see some here, more in the middle, not sure. She has a lot of directions of growth. The pseudobulbs are getting bigger and bigger, but for now they are these small ones, so she's a sort of a seedling at this point, and the bigger pseudobulbs can get this high, this tall. So Yeah, I am happy that I am able to save her, because this is a very dear orchid for me. Um, yeah, I'm very sorry that a few years ago I didn't know about fusarium and I didn't really pay much attention to the sterilizing techniques for cutting tools, and now I am aware of the diseases you can spread when you divide orchids without sterilizing your tools. So really guys, you should pay a lot of attention to this, because you can lose some very dear orchids, let's say. Now I know how to save them, but not all are actually savable, let's say. So the sooner you get the orchid to or the sooner you find out that an orchid is infested with fusarium after she got actually infected in the first place, the sooner you will be able to get her back to health. If it is passing more than a few months, a year, let's say, then the orchid is too set back and she won't be able to recover. So that is a good thing to keep in mind. This is a Cattleya, no idea. I think I bought her from Secret Garden. She does have two directions of growth. She is growing quite fast. Now she is growing this suitable. She came to me without roots. I bought her on a discount at for €4, I think, so that is okay. And she is growing another little new growth in here. Okay, here I have my African violet. She is potted in semi-hydro using small leca and ceramis as medium, and you can totally see how much she grew and how many roots she has. I have grown her from a cutting and she took quite well. Thank you so much to those of you who helped me find actually what was the problem, because the leaves in the past weren't growing as flat as they are now. I found out that actually I was having multiple plantlets there. This is the first time she is blooming and she is absolutely full of blooms. These were some leaves that were very small when she was cutting, and I got some water on them, so they stained, let's say. But now she is growing properly and she's producing quite a lot of buds. I am curious to see how she looks like, because I never saw her, and I don't really think she will be that bluish indigo color. I hope she will be a pinkish one. We will see. Anyway, and the last orchid for today, it is this huge thing. I hope you are seeing how big he is. This is my Dendrobium Spring Dream Apollon. This is the orchid that I have recently showed to you in my What's in Bloom video, because he actually has a few buds, or blooms actually. He was completely rootless a few months ago, because that small leca and ceramis, but now he is full of roots. He does love semi-hydro, and I hope I will be able to show to you how many roots he has. And she does have basil cakeys as well as these ones here. I will separate these ones very soon, and I will put them in moss and grow them, and when they have a good size I will actually sell them. Okay guys, and despite these ones, I have the orchids that were in bloom for the past month, let's say. So you have already seen them, and I want to make an update on them again. Now tomorrow we will go into the balcony, and we will see how my orchids are doing there. I was actually watching my cat. I want to show to you. She wants to be a very, very clean girl. She's so sweet. I absolutely adore this cat. Anyway, back to our business. So I was saying that tomorrow I will actually do an update on the orchids in the balcony, but I think I will need 2 parts for those because I have quite a few orchids in the balcony, and we will see what else then. Okay guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching and see you all next time. Bye!